Indigo Ray TV, the place where we journey to explore the cross and intersection between your humanity and your divinity, where I talk about all things spirituality. So, welcome. Hello, 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 Mosaic Souls. Hey, Mosaic Souls, this is Rachael Alexander, artist and Mosaic Soul mentor, aka spiritual teacher and transformational life coach with flair. And today I wanted to talk about how to create a gratitude habit and a gratitude ritual. So if you're joining me live, feel free to say hi. As always, I like to just give like a minute where I can go through some house rules, and then I'll dive into the content, and then afterwards open up the floor for any questions or comments or concerns. So, house rules. The whole purpose of Divine Daily Coaching is to assist you in creating true lasting transformation in your mind, body, and spirit, and really to create the results that you want in your life. And so, hello, Mr. Miss or Miss. I don't know if you're Mr. or Miss. Welcome. I can't see I think you're Miss. Sorry, your emoji, your picture came up really small. I couldn't see it. Hello. Mad Titan. Welcome. Yeah, so that is the whole purpose of Divine Daily Coaching. In the month of December, I've been giving these sort of Divine Daily Coaching. And so if you're interested in copying a complimentary 30-minute session with me, check out the first two links in the description box below. Okay, so let's dive into this content. Man, I'm excited about this because it's going to be something that I really feel like has definitely transformed the way that I look at life. So as in Queen of Simplicity fashion, I always like to break down things to make it more digestible and usable for your life. I'm a very much so all about pragmatic spirituality. So I want to talk about why you want to create, why gratitude is even important, and then I'm going to talk about how. Let me establish what gratitude is first. So what, why, how? Okay. So that's how I like to usually establish it, right? So when you think about gratitude, right? Gratitude, of course, is that sense of appreciation, that sense of well-being, that sense of it's already doneness, that sense of certainty, right? Feel free to say hi if you're joining me live. So that is what gratitude is, right? It's the sense of well-being, right? It's that sense of not gratitude, the sense of appreciation that you have for whatever it is, a person, place, or thing, or a situation or event in your life, right? So that's what it is. Why do you want to cultivate gratitude, right? So with gratitude, right, I'm looking at my journal because I wrote down some notes. So gratitude, scientifically proven on a scientific level. I always like to use logic in conjunction with emotion, spirituality, is better health. One, better health, better physical fitness. They've done studies on people who have more gratitude naturally have better health, better physical fitness, better mental acuity, better being able to use your mind and utilize your mind to focus. And also, especially with the better health thing, is that you actually manifest less disease when you're in a state of gratitude, right? So if you've ever, I can't remember the name of the guy, it was a Japanese guy, scientist, I think. He did an experiment where he was like, even my ex actually did an experiment and tested it out where you like take a bag of rice or you take a piece of fruit or something like that, or some water, and then you direct anger at the water, right? One can of water, and then another can of water, you direct love, peace, joy, gratitude towards it. And then they measured what the crystals look like in each of those water. It was a water experiment. I can't remember the name of the Japanese guy who did it. So yeah, and what they found in that experiment is the water that had the love, the gratitude, and all that stuff had like these beautiful like crystals, in them, and then the water that didn't was like all like fragmented and like it was like messed up. So that makes sense that when you have gratitude, you'll naturally have better health because your thoughts affect your human physical form, right? Also better self-esteem, right? And also self-actualization. So check out that video I did on one of my live streams earlier this month, talking about thank you, Mad Titan. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You talked about about self-actualization versus self-realization. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All about self-actualization versus self-realization, right? And so when you have gratitude, you're more able, you have a better ability to step into being able to self-actualize yourself. There's no point to me in realizing that you're God in human form if you don't actually live that in your human form, right? If you don't feel that sense of joy and peace in your heart, and you don't have amicable and healthy relationships, or you're not doing work that you love in the world, right? So to me, self-realization is realizing who you are beyond just this fleshly body, but then self-actualization is the actual realization and manifestation of that in your human form, right? So that is the why, right? So let's talk about the how. Now that I've talked about the what, the why, now I'll talk about the how. Okay, so there are many ways that you can go about gratitude and creating a ritual. And when you think about rituals, right, rituals are just a set form of habits that you do in a sequential way to bring about a specific result, right? So when I'm thinking about rituals, we have rituals and everything, right? Daily rituals. We get up and brush our teeth so that we don't have, bad bacteria and stuff in our teeth and our teeth don't rot, right? We have rituals for everything in our life, right? So when you think about ritual, what is the purpose of doing the gratitude ritual? Where we already talked about the why, right? So how do you do that, right? So one of the containers that I sort of created for myself was something that I call the joy journal. And what I would do on a daily basis, especially when I went through like life coaching, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I first had my own coach, and I hired my own coach to help me, and they sort of introduced me to this practice. But what you would do is a simple one is just to, in your journal, write down 5 things that you're grateful for every morning, right? So every morning before you wake up, not before you wake up, but before you like start your day, you go to work or you start your job or business or whatever, you write down 5 things that you're grateful for, right? And then out of those 5 things, it can be people, places, things, or events, right? And that's one way of doing it. It's very simple, right? To focus on it, right? So once you get like the mental movie, right, of, okay, this is what I'm grateful for, then you want to connect the heart to it, right? So there's no reason to be like, okay, I'm grateful for my dresser, or I'm grateful for my bed, or I'm grateful for my guitar, or I'm grateful for, my mother, or my father, or my boyfriend, or my husband, or my wife, or my children, right? You want to get to what I would call, like, from a copywriting standpoint, you want to get to like a moment, right? You want to get to a specific situation in your life where gratitude fosters an emotion with you, right? So when you lock in the thought and you lock it in with the feeling, you create manifestation, right? The head and the heart locked together in alignment creates manifestation, right? Okay, so that's really just sort of one way, right? Another way that you can start to cultivate gratitude is really from moment to moment to moment, starting to focus in on what is going right in your life. Now, this is less of a ritual and more of a way of being. So there's rituals like, when you do a ritual over and over, it becomes a part of your personality, right? So when it becomes a part of your personality, it becomes a part of your state of being. I hope this is making sense. So when it becomes a part of your state of being, this is sort of who you are in the world. And so one of the things about creating the ritual is such that this next piece is sort of level 2, right? Next level. So the basic ritual is, every day asking yourself specific questions, like what I would do in my joy journal when I sort of started that a while ago is I would sit down, especially if you struggle with self-esteem, asking your questions of what are 5 things that I appreciate about myself? You know what I mean? If you struggle with self-criticism or perfectionism, like I did, asking yourself those types of questions and just being really honest. What did I do great? What went right in my life today, right? And asking yourself those types of questions will foster more of your mind, will help you hone your mind into focusing on what's going right. Because as humans, for some reason, we are designed to focus on the negativity. It's a way of sort of us, our monkey minds, or like our reptilian brain, to protect us. If we focus on the danger or what's going on around us, then we can like preserve our genes for the next generation and for us to have longer lives on the planet, right? So that's sort of like our wiring in our human form. But what you want to do as a divine sovereign being, knowing that you're just beyond this fleshly suit, that you're actually a soul having this human experience, is you want to focus your intention on what is going right. What are all the things that are good? Because no longer are we living in the safari. Well, most of us are living in a safari or living in an area where we have to worry about lions, tigers, and bears chasing us down, right? So most of our worries come from, and stress levels and cortisol and all that stuff is coming from just basic, day-to-day human shit, like paying the bills on time, or somebody cut you off on the road, or, you know what I mean? Or, you had an argument with a partner, and all these sort of little human things that we kind of get caught up in, right? You want to start focusing on what went right versus what went wrong. And that sort of starts to manifest. Once you start to do that, like having an actual ritual where you sit down with your journal, right? This is my little journal with my little black cat. It has like this cool thing in there. And you sit down with your journal every day and you ask yourself these questions to help your mind focus in on what you do, right? Not what you do, what you want to create. The more you will start to retrain your mind in manifesting more of what you desire. Head and heart locked in together, manifestation, self-realization. Hope that makes sense. This level 2 of it is, now that you've done this and it's become a part of who you, like your ritual, like your new habits, right? Is what will start to happen, and what I've experienced is, instead of your mind constantly focusing on what's not going right, is you'll start to be more like, kind of like ridiculously optimistic in a way where you're like, everything's always going to be working out for me, right? You start to shift into this energy of any life event that happens. And I'll give you an example in my own life that happened to me around the same time, 2019, in December of 2019. You'll start to look at all the little life events that are happening, even if it's a quote unquote negative experience or bad experience, and you'll start to extract what was good out of that. Like, I really learned something from that. I really grok that. If you're joining me live, feel free to say hi in the chat below. I really enjoyed that. Like that, I really learned something from that. That really triggered me. So I wonder, okay, so you start to look at life in a different way because you're no longer focusing on what went wrong. You start to look at, what are the lessons that I can glean from this, right? Or what did I learn, or how did I grow or expand even more, right? Or, like as you start to do that and you start to focus on what you've gained from that, that's how you start to step into your creative power, right? And I've talked about this a lot in my lives. As you step into your creative power, hey, Miss Cherokee, welcome back, welcome back. As you step into your creative power, what is happening is that you are like enlivening and enacting this aspect of you that is already divine, right? Like you're embodying more of your divinity. And how that looks in human form is that you begin to attract more experiences that match your own vibration. And that's the whole purpose of gratitude. Another aspect of this is gratitude also represents the already done energy that I've talked about a lot on this channel, right? The it's already done, the having, being, doing energy, right? Versus the wishing, hoping, and praying energy, doing energy. Like it's already done. And another trick to this that you can add to that ritual is start to be grateful for the things in your life that haven't yet manifested. This is super powerful, right? When you start to be grateful for the things that have not yet manifested as if they have already manifested. And you can do this like with scripting. Like I like to write out my goals or desires as if it's already done. Thank you for, my health and well-being and healing. And that's what I did. Oh, I wanted to go back to that example that I had, right? So how it manifests in like how you start to glean and look at life events and take the juiciness and the nuggets from expanding in it, life just becomes a lot less heavy, right? So what happened, I think I told this story before, but in 2019, December, on freaking Christmas Day, I don't know. I'm not really one that celebrates holidays, but nice. I'm grateful. Nice. That's what's up. Exactly. Being grateful for what you desire before. So on Christmas Day last year, I went out with some family and friends. And anyways, long story short, my purse and my wallet had gotten stolen out of the trunk of my car. I guess whoever was there was watching me in my parking lot as I put my purse in the trunk of my car. And oops, okay, low battery. And I put so I came back to my car, and it's funny because what ended up happening was I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't even want to go to the party with my cousins and stuff, but I forced myself to go. Like, my cousins kind of duped me into like taking my uncle there because I don't know why. Anyways, I didn't listen to my intuition, and lo and behold, my purse and my wallet and stuff got stolen. But because I'm so like spiritually aware and awakened, let me tell you, right? I did not freak out. Like, most of the times I'd be freaking out or da da da, but I didn't freak out. I actually was excited. I can't explain to you what happened when I found out that what happened is I drove my uncle home to his place after we were at the club because it was my cousin's birthday. His birthday is on December 24th. And so we were celebrating that. And then I dropped him home afterwards. And then I went to the gas station because I was low on gas. And then I realized, because I was going to get my credit card, and I realized that I didn't have my wallet. Luckily, I took one card with me out of my purse and my phone and stuff like that. So I had that one thing. But then after that, I called the people and canceled all my stuff, right? And I recognized a charge that like popped up on my phone. I'm like, I'm not at this place and I didn't order this. So what's going on? Somebody like took my card and started using it or whatever. And I canceled it all. But when that happened, you guys, I like did not even freak out. Like, I like went into this state of like joy and excitement. I don't know why, but it was like some part of me knew that something great, I was on the brink of something great. Like, sometimes what will happen when you're manifesting and you're in alignment with what you desire, like, things like crap will seemingly hit the fan. Like, everything will be like thrown at you to see where you're at vibrationally, right? It's like old energy, old karmic energy, if you will, comes up to almost like test you. I don't really believe in testing, but it will almost come up to like see, are you really where you say you are? Are you really like embodying the true person that you desire to be, the person that you are shifting into? And so I think because I have been doing so much internal work, and this is before I had healed my large ovarian cyst, right? Like 10 days later, I ended up healing, and like from one day to the next, having this large ovarian cyst to no longer having this large ovarian cyst, right? So I don't want to make this about that. But what I recognize is by cultivating these internal processes, and one of my internal processes was not only doing that internal shadow work that I do a lot for myself and help my clients through as well, but also having this daily gratitude ritual. And because I've cultivated that in my own life, I started to shift into this stage 2 level of gratitude, where now, instead of every day I have to sit down and write down what I'm grateful for, which is still very useful, I started to shift into what am I learning? How am I expanding? What is this here to teach me? You know, how am I going to become a better person out of this, right? And you start to shift your perception from lack, scarcity, and fear to abundance and expansion and growth, right? You become growth minded versus, oh, this is instead of victim minded. So I'm done chatting. I feel like I've been chatting for a bit. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below in regards to this topic or in regards to your life in general. Gotta put your stuff in the trunk before you get there. I know, right? I was so retarded. Like, but it's so funny though, because some great things actually manifested after that happened. Because I didn't go into freak out mode. I think because instead of going to freak out mode or, oh, my life is over, or that kind of victim mentality, and I had been sort of doing, I've been doing a lot of inner work for such a long time. It's like never ending. My response to that event, and to any event that, like, you know, triggers you, something that would normally trigger you, like, it didn't trigger me. It actually shifted me into like a different version of myself, if you will. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below. I'm gonna take some water. Thank you guys for the love. Love that, Miss I'm going to just take a few sips. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, or yeah, in the chat, or comments below. I'm just going to give it another minute to see if you guys have any questions. If anyone's typing, feel free to say hi. I see a few folks live with me. Only a few of you guys said hi, but I see quite a few of you guys on live with me. Hey, Taylor, welcome. I've been working each day to stay focused and keep pieces and keep my vibe high while working in the belly of the beast. Yeah, man, that's what you have to do. Yep, focus and keep your vibe high. Exactly, that's what it's all about. High vibes. I love one of the other spiritual team. I think they're probably actually having an event tonight. But I love Dream Wise. He talks about, Dream and D-Ray talk about feeling good is the work. I love that saying. That's so true. It's all about, that's all about what that's about. Even when today my patience was tried, but I didn't care. Exactly. You start to shift. You're so welcome, Deandra. Welcome, welcome. You start to shift your energy when you shift your focus, right? Like you start to attract different experiences because you're no longer dwelling on what's not going right. And that's the beauty. You become a different person. You become a person that expects everything to work out for you instead of a person that expects shit to always go wrong, So yeah, Taylor. I've been struggling with moving through and getting over PTSD from an abusive relationship with my son's father. I'm so sorry about that, Taylor. I definitely understand. Do you have a question in regards to that? Do you have a question in regards to what you just posted? I'd love to do any coaching around that. Feel free to share. We can work through anything that you want to work through while I'm live. I typed out the latter part of your episode yesterday and was listening to John Lennon's Imagine. Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, I had to go back and re-listen to what I said yesterday. That was some potent stuff that my divine team, right? That was some potent stuff that my divine team was sharing. That was, yeah, I was like, this is some definitely channeling the Most High on this one, for sure. Taylor, let me know if you have any questions in regards to what you've been struggling with. Do you have a specific question? Or do you want to just sort of work through what is the thing that you most want to create? I usually like to start off with that question, what do you want to create? Or what do you want to create in your life, Taylor? Feel free to share. Or if not, take me up on my offer in I think it's the second link in the description box below, where I'm gifting 30-minute sessions for the month of December. And we can kind of work through that one-on-one if that's what you want to do. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Welcome, Miss Deandra, or is it Drea or Drea? I don't know if I'm butchering your name. You had told us to check in throughout the day with our inner self, and I decided to do that, including on my lunch break. Yay! How was that? Yeah, there's definitely something I need to work through myself today that I didn't get a chance to emotionally. Something that kind of came up. I was like, definitely gonna have to sit with that one this evening before I go to bed. Don't want to go to bed angry about something really trivial. But checking in with your inner world, man, that's that shadow work, man. That's a daily thing that most people don't tell you about. That's how you end up manifesting all kinds of diseases and sicknesses, because we don't deal with our inner world on a day-to-day basis. If you don't deal with your inner world on a day-to-day basis, it's like having a backed up sewer system. You know what I mean? It's all this energy that's flowing through you that you never address, that ends up like creating all this like havoc in your body, you know, and manifesting as like different diseases and symptoms and all kinds of other stuff. That's why the shadow work is so important, you know. That's why doing that inner work, you know, is so important. DeAndrea. Okay, cool. I'm glad I didn't butcher your name. Cool. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm gonna just hop off. And for those of you who want, you know, to dive in deeper with me, I know not everybody wants to divulge their life story on my YouTube channel. So feel free to check out the second link in the description box below for any questions that you might have, or we can actually work through it in my free 30-minute sessions that I'm doing for the month of December only. And absolutely amazing. Even during and after people trying to pressure me to work on holiday weekends when I don't even work weekends. Checked out. I love that you're establishing such healthy boundaries, Miss Cherokee. That's what's up. You sound like me, man, because that's straight up how I be like, look, what? Nah, that's not what we agreed upon. Nope. Yeah, so I'm very clear about like how I work with clients and stuff like that. Even in like my web design business, like, you know, I'm always like, okay, this is what you get. These are the deliverables. This is the timeline. So if you come at me left side of like, well, that's not what we agreed. So this is the additional pricing for that. So definitely having standards and agreements is for sure important. Cool, you guys. Well, if you guys are looking for some more support, check out the 2 links in the description box below. If you want to support a sister on this channel, check out the links in the description box below as well. And as always, flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't, because you are divine. You are a divine being, and your soul knows exactly what you've come to explore and experience and traverse while on this planet. So remember, what you conceive is what you'll receive. What you expect is what you'll get. And however you feel is what will become real for you. So vibrate higher, and I will chat with you guys later. Peace, love, and light. Oh, real quick. I'm not going to be on here tomorrow, the day after, or Saturday. I'm taking those sort of 3 days off. So I'll be back this coming Sunday with my lives. So you guys enjoy your holiday weekend. If you do celebrate Christmas and all that stuff, have a wonderful weekend with your family, your loved ones. Stay in high vibes, do that inner work, and focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. So I will chat with you guys this coming Sunday. Peace, love, and light. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Peace.